today. So we are going to be going over the tarot deck, Angel Tarot, and we're going to be going over the major arcana. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. But first thing is, I wanted to mention, if you like getting spiritual readings done, join us on Facebook at the Spiritual Healers at Best SD Day Spa, and I will put that down below for you. So basically, we're going to go ahead and go over the major arcana 0 through 21. These are going to be the interpretations that I have, but that also match the definitions in the booklet. Okay, so some of these are going to match the Rider-Waite, some of them aren't, and I'll kind of decipher through that as well, but this will give you a good basis, okay? So we're going to start with the Dreamer, which in the Rider-Waite is called the Fool. So the Dreamer is basically starting out on this big grand adventure. So this could potentially be a card that is in regards to somebody who's going to be doing some leaps of faith. They're going to be doing some changes. They have everything that they need inside to make these changes, but they're not very worldly yet. So they're going to be gaining some worldly experience by doing this. So they're stepping out of their comfort zone and doing something new, and it might be somewhat foolish, and it might land them right on their butt, but they're going to get up and they're going to keep going forward, and it's going to teach them something in life. So this card is the Dreamer. Then we have the Magician. So this card is all about having that internal power and knowing that you can manifest anything in this life and being able to step forward and just do just that. So basically that's what the Magician is. And it actually says on here, you are ready, you have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. So it's having the resources and the ability to manifest whatever it is that you're looking to do or whatever your dreams are. So the Dreamer kind of follows through all of these life steps in the major arcana. So as we go through, just consider the Dreamer as the 0 or the beginning point. Then we have the High Priestess. She's all about intuition. So you can kind of see how her palms are up. She's kind of inviting some of that intuitive source energy into her spirit, and that's how she uses herself like a vessel to receive guidance. And a way that a lot of people do that these days is through meditation. So when this card comes up, I would encourage somebody to go with their gut instincts and also use meditation as a source tool in order to receive additional answers. So when you get the High Priestess, think of feminine power. And we have the Empress. So basically the Empress is about giving birth to ideas, giving birth literally. So it's about basically creating. So it's about using that feminine power to create and manifest things. And a lot of times it is about birth and creation of that sort. So it's interesting when these come up when people are pregnant and all of a sudden they get the Empress card. It's really interesting. It says, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Then we have more of the masculine. We have the Emperor. So this is all about structure and logic and discipline. So fine-tuning ideas sometimes requires some of that masculine energy. So when this card pulls up, you might want to consider utilizing some of the logic or structure or even discipline in order to gain more from whatever it is that you're doing. We have Unity. This is all about tradition. It's all about community. It's all about structure. And it's all about finding like-minded, basically community-oriented people to family or friends to join in on whatever it is that you are looking to do. We have the Lovers. So when I think of the Lovers, I think of fertility, vitality, I think of excitement, energy, the beginning of a new relationship that's very strong in passion. It might not be long lasting, but it could be. So when I think of the Lovers, I think of a new relationship that's just being founded. The Chariot. This one I had a really hard time with for years. I don't know why. It just never stuck out to me. But now I really love this card. And what I really like about it is that there is polarity in it. So the black and the white shows kind of the dark and the light and the polarity, and how this person is kind of wheeling that, and he has the strength to push forward, and he has the willpower as well to move in the right direction. So it's a very strong card, a very strong person when you're dealing with the Chariot, and somebody who's on the right track. So they've gained a lot of insight, We're on card number 7 now. This could potentially be the dreamer who has moved into this phase in his life where he has seen enough, done enough, and experienced enough where he is now able to move forward and has kind of his ducks in a row. So yeah. Justice. This one can come up when there's legal matters or court. And basically, I have gum in my mouth. Basically, this one is going to be more of a positive outcome for whoever it is that's asking the question. So whoever's asking the question in regards to this and receives this as an answer, it's going to be a positive outcome for that person more than likely. It's also about fairness. So justice is fairness. And the ruler of that card is actually Libra. So there is an astrology ruler of each of these cards. We can go over that in another video. We have the Hermit, so 9. I really like this one because I feel like it's personal journey. So it's going on a personal journey and it's discovering yourself in a new way and adding to all the things that you already know about yourself, but learning even more and getting more of an in-depth experience of what it is that you really want and aspire to achieve and going down that path. With the Hermit, it's basically saying kind of step back from any situation, really evaluate what it is that you're looking for and really looking within yourself as well. And basically it's just about self-empowerment. It says spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. We have the Wheel. The Wheel is always positive when it's upright. Basically, the Wheel is going to be positive changes. And it says a time of positive change, a situation that suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. So it is a positive card. And we have Strength. So this is going to be about inner strength. Also being compassionate, forgiving others. Sometimes we have to come from a place of strength in order to forgive and move forward. And that is not an easy thing to do, but doing it makes you stronger. So a lot of times this will come up when we are holding on to baggage and we need to release it and let go and really just have compassion for the people who have wronged us and forgive them and make those moves to move forward. So that actually gives you strength. So that's what this card is about, is finding that inner strength. Okay, and then we have 12, which is going to be Awakening. So this card is all about, for me, when I see this card, I think of somebody who's kind of thinking upside down. So they might be having, like, being stuck in like a negative thinking or thought process. They got to flip it around, see things from a different perspective, and they're going to be doing just fine if they can do that. So it's basically getting a hold of some of those negative thoughts and flipping things around a little bit to see the brighter perspective. She can kind of see that she's grasping out like for help. It looks a little foggy. It looks like she's kind of falling into something. So basically, when I see this card surrounded by other cards, I kind of figure out what this person is going through, and then I just encourage us to move into a positive direction. Mike just got home. Okay. Release. So release is going to be releasing any of the old and bringing in some of the new. So this isn't the Death card, but it's more about releasing anything that's creating tension in your life or that isn't really serving you in a way, changing things out. It's not as strong as the Death card. It's just letting go of some of the old to bring in some of the new. Now this deck doesn't have a Death card in it, just because Doreen Virtue is pretty light. She's gotten even lighter because she's Christian now. There's a lot of stuff going on with that, but basically I just use whatever cards work, especially with the imagery. Stephen A. Roberts is the one that created the imagery in these cards, so if you really like it, I would recommend getting this deck just for that, because eventually you want to get out of some of the definitions and get more into the intuition of the cards themselves, because that's when some of that really cool energy comes out and you're able to help clients in a different way. Okay, so we have Balance. Balance is going to be about basically balancing finances. It could be balancing home life versus work life, balancing kids versus I don't know. It could be anything. It just depends on what the other cards are surrounding it, but something might be out of balance if you're getting this card. And it's just kind of saying, hey, redirect some of your energy and attention because you're going to want to put more focus over here so that you can get more out of life. It says the need for balance and moderation. That's what the definition was. Ego. If you are dealing with any of this, you might be suffering with some fear, anxiety, stress. You might be self-centered, so you're only focusing on yourself. So when this card comes up, I kind of say, hey, take off the mask, relax, don't take things personally, and try to get into other people. So try to reconnect with everyone as a community. Reconnect yourself so you're not far away and getting more trapped within whatever it is that your thoughts are, wherever it is that your thoughts are taking you. And this actually says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, and negative or fear-based thoughts. Life experience. This one is going to be the equivalent to the Tower and the Rider-Waite. And you can actually see the Tower right there. So life experience is going to be about a huge shift. It could be good or bad. It depends on how you handle it. Basically, it says a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So either way, you're going to want to fly. No matter how bad it is, how crazy it is, what it is, you're just going to want to move forward from the situation and come out better. The Star. So I don't think of this as somebody who's like attention is all on them. I think of it more as like joining other people because there's so many stars in the sky. So it's kind of like joining everyone in your path and sitting in what is you and being in your moment on the right path. So this card indicates to me that you're shining in all your glory. You're doing everything that's meant for you. And because of that, you're also able to create abundance for others. You're playing your role in the universe and you're playing it well. You're shining as bright as a star and you're joining all those that are doing that as well. So that's what this card indicates to me as being on the right path. And it does mean shining and being all that you are and amazing, but doing it with others. So the Moon. Okay, so the Moon is about concealment. So somebody might not be telling all the truth. There might be something hidden in there. There's something not quite right with the situation or the story being told. And that's okay. Sometimes when you go to do a reading for somebody, it might not be something they want to share, and that's totally fine, but it's good for you to know that that's kind of what this means. So it means there's other things going on behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. So this is kind of like a concealment or hiding some of the facts or some of the details of a story or situation. The Moon, it says important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, and release fears that hold you back. So this card does come with some anxiety and things that the person might be hiding within themselves that's creating the situation that they're in. The Sun is a happy card. This card is super positive. It's probably the most positive card in the entire major arcana. Basically what it means is that everything's going really great for you and that everything's gonna be amazing for a while now, with whatever it is, the life choice that you decided to make or whatever the question was. So everything's looking really, really, really positive. I guess I shouldn't say for a while. We don't know. Everything always changes, but it's a good card. Renewal. So renewal is probably in this deck more of like closer to the death card, but they don't have a death card. So this one is going to be more about like rebirth. I think of it as like family, like a change in the family. It could be a death, but most likely it's probably a change in the family unit. So maybe another baby's coming, or maybe there's a huge move where the family's going to be moving, or there's a shift in some way with family. So I always think of this card as like the family card, and there's even a family depicted in the picture. Oh, and I'll read it to you too. It says, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. And then we have the world. So we have the world now. This one, okay, so we're gonna take this is the last one. We started out with the dreamer. And now we have the world. So I think of it as like, somebody had mentioned this to me a while ago, so I kind of want to share this. The dreamer starts out with nothing but his dreams and some of his foolish excitement to get out there in the world. He doesn't have much worldly experience, but he's ready. He has enough internal. When we get to the magician card, which was number 1, we find out that the dreamer had everything he needed internally to make changes and to manifest the life of his dreams. Through that, he went through all these stages where he learned all of these things in his life: changes, renewal, rebirth, intuition, just different shifts in life experiences. And after all of that, he gained insight on the world. So the dreamer starts and he becomes more connected. So it's a kind of a circle. So it says, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. And through these cards, you should hopefully learn enlightenment. And they're not easy. These cards indicate that there are things that happen, and you have to gain that strength internally, and you have to gain knowledge and compassion, and you can get trapped in ego, and things can happen. But through all of that, having forgiveness, compassion, and understanding for others, and being able to have those things for yourself, really help you gain life experience that hopefully in return gives you so much. So that's what the major arcana is all about, is figuring out where this person is and helping them get through it. And that's what tarot is about, hopefully. Being a tarot reader, it's really important that we are focused on the clients and people that come in to see us and how we can benefit them and help give them some spiritual guidance. And that's how I love to use tarot. So if you have any questions or there's anything that you want me to give you more in-depth information about, just let me know. I'm more than happy to give you more information down below. I can give you a little bit more of a description on each card, like any card that you have questions about or that you get stuck on. And just know that some cards aren't going to come right to you. Sometimes it takes some time before you're like, oh, that card makes a lot of sense to me now. Like it's sticking. So it's okay if some cards really you connect to and others you don't. You'll get more the more readings that you provide. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. I work with a ton of different decks. I just have like 2 here right now because all of them are at my spa. So all the girls do tarot readings at the spa. So we have like 20 decks over there at least. So I think I have like 2 here right now, but we're always like siphoning through them and shifting. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. One thing I wanted to mention one more time is that join us if you really enjoyed this and you want like more psychic insight at the Spiritual Healers at Best SD Day Spa, and we are more than happy to give you a card reading a day. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today on my channel. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.